Hey guys, welcome back, welcome back. So we're back over here on Burgundy Blue Commentary. Thanks for being here. So I'm going to answer some of the questions that I got in my email today. So if you didn't know, I am a former Doltonite. I actually worked under the former mayor, Robert Shaw, back in the day, like in the 1900s. Um, excuse me, guys, in the 1900s. And I know a little bit about the south suburbs. I know that people are all interested in Tiffany Henyard right now and what she got going on. So I'm just trying to give you guys coverage. I have definitely been to the board meetings. I have not been to the board meetings since Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard has been the um mayor, but I have been to the board meetings where she's been a trustee, and she's always been a people's person. I want to be honest. I want people to know that the reason she got in was not because she did not deserve it or who she or anything like that. She got in, the trustees voted her in because she portrayed who she was going to be. When my mother was still living and I would go to Dolton a lot, you guys, Tiffany Henyard was out there hitting the pavement. And I do want to say something about that. One thing I do agree with, when she was out there before she was a mayoral candidate, when she was out there doing for the seniors, trying to make a change, doing giveaways and stuff like that, um, she was really the most we've seen out of a trustee in Dalton at that time. And I just want to give my honest opinion. I don't want you guys to think that I see a lot of videos and people are like, oh, she's just this, she's just that. I do not know her personally. Let me say that. I don't know her personally or anything like that. It took me a year to decide to do this YouTube video because I was like, you know what? I don't want to do anything and it be like weird stuff or retaliations or something like that. But I think I should speak on it because I told you guys, and I'm not judging. I do watch a lot of the YouTubers that cover this. Let me tell you, they're making a big bag, a big bank. And I was like, oh my God, I want to be a part of this. And I got the inside scoop. Um, but when I started to see like certain YouTubers showing information with addresses and things of that information like that, that kind of irritated me because they weren't from here and they really didn't know what it took to like what you were doing when you did something like that. You know what I mean? I don't think they meant to do it on purpose. It was just like, hey, I'm first. I'm here with the news. We got some news. I'm first and I'm here. So, you guys, I'm going to let the room load. I'm going to quickly play my standby as I get my material together. And we're going to talk about if Tiffany Henyard needs security. Is her security warranted and if it's needed? All right, you guys, thanks for being here. Let's and let me know as always when you come into the room, come on in the room. Let me know about where you're from, okay? And we're just going to play a short standby, okay? Let's see. This is a small channel. And I'm sure I don't even know if anybody else right now, like I have to get used to that because I don't know if anybody else is covering this right now because I know you guys are probably all over there. I just wanted to jump in while I had free time, okay? So not trying to take an audience or anything. Let's go.
Commentary Blue Commentary Burgundy Commentary Comment Blue Commentary Comment Burgundy Blue Commentary Burgundy Commentary Commentary.
All right, guys. So, y'all, the village of Dalton is hot, baby. It's a hot topic right now. Sorry, guys, for my voice. I don't have my microphone either. I actually was under the weather, so I'm trying to get better, and I thank you guys for bearing with me. So, we want to talk about Tiffany Henyard and Mayor Tiffany Henyard and the security detail and if it's warranted. So, if you guys didn't know, Mayor Henyard has a huge security detail that people are really upset about. Um, it's costing the village money. So they really want to stop that. They want to stop that. Like it has came about that it has been like maybe certain police officers making $13,000 in one check because they worked over 300 hours in a week protecting the mayor. Now, I am someone y'all been eating me up in my email in the comments. I'm someone that think that Mayor Henyard does need security detail. Now, do I think she needs the police to be her security detail? Absolutely not, because I think that's a whole different entity. Maybe you could have one police officer and then, like I always say, I shout out a bodyguard or something like that. That could be her security. Um does she need this many people to be her security detail because of the threat? I don't think so. Does she need security? Period. Yes, she does. I do know for a fact walking up, people walk up when they see the mayor and they have, oh, sorry. It could be something as simple as branches in their yard. They want to talk to the mayor right then, and they're going to walk up to her. Now, she could be with her daughter. She could be out here, like handing out waters, like she was. Um, Hold on, guys. I'm gonna see if I got this. Um, she could be handing out waters. She could be doing anything, and you guys, somebody will walk up. I have a flood on my block. I have branches in my yard and they will walk up and tap you on your shoulder and do anything else. So yeah, you may need security, especially as a single woman walking around. That's my opinion. Now, does it need to be putting the village in a deficit? No. I feel like you can get an independent security situation going on. I always say Casey the bodyguard. I don't even know who he is, but I see when people come to Chicago, they go to him. Um, I'm gonna be honest. Beyonce has Julius. Even Beyonce only got Julius. Beyonce ain't walking around with about 5, 6 police officers. The Obamas, they have together, the whole family. They have maybe two Secret Service people on security detail. And quiet as it's kept, when Michelle goes around, she has one security person on her detail. The former president, he has one security detail. We know that because their old Secret Service guy came out and was speaking about it in his latest book. So even though Obama does not have as many security people on their detail, or Beyonce. Beyonce just got Lil Julius. Julius go where Beyonce go, and that's it. Do not have as many people on their security team as our mayor's Henyard. Do I think she needs some kind of security? Yes, I do. That's my opinion. But do I think it needs to be as excessive as it is? That's a no. You know what I mean? And it definitely doesn't need to come from the taxpayers' money. But as a mayor and as a supervisor And as a single woman out here, and every time she gets online, people are talking about her salary and how much she makes. Yes, I think she should have some form of protection. That's what I'm saying. I don't think she need to be just driving around willy nilly by herself. But she doesn't need to travel out of town with them because I don't think a lot of people know who she is. So, you guys, that was my 2 cents because y'all was eating me up. Yet be only be just get Mayor Henyard Julius. Somebody fly Julius into Dolton and we will be okay. Okay. So the second thing I wanted to talk about was past mayoral candidates, and another thing I want to talk about is people saying that my videos are kind of boring. Let me explain why. If I'm talking about the village of Dolton, I promise you the only thing I'm talking about is maybe past, maybe nostalgia, maybe experiences I did have when I worked for the village of Dalton in the past, and also experiences I had when growing up there, you know what I mean, living there, running a business, things like that. I just wanted to talk about that. Um that's it. That's all. I don't think anybody's perfect, but I just feel like right now I don't want to put any too much negativity in what's going on in the village because my hopes is that the trustees and the mayor for the last year can really come together. It seems like the trustees are doing a good thing at coming together. They really are. But if you want my opinion and nobody asked for it, I'm just gonna give it to you. I think it would be really cool if the mayor waves the red flag and just be like, you know what, this is I made a mistake. I got in over my head. I got bad advisement. Just it's nothing wrong with saying you didn't know. Okay? It's nothing wrong with that. Go ahead, wave the red flag, say I need help. My advice, like I ain't nobody, but if I'm on the outside looking in, go ahead and give the oh you guys, it was oh my god, where's my phone? I was on TikTok today and I was on YouTube today, of course, and it was two things that came up. Somebody allegedly released a mugshot of Jason House. Let me see if I can find it. I didn't even save it, but it's something I want to say about it. Oh, you know what? It was over here. I know where it was. Hold on, let me pull it up. And if you're in here, hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do this video, and I really am sick. So let me adjust myself. I'm actually like in the guest bedroom getting situated. Let me go over here. Let's go ahead and let me see if I got it. I saw this and y'all, I'm still trying to get in the Village of Dalton group, right? So it's the first of all, let me name the Village of Dalton groups, okay, that have denied me. Okay. So I'm trying to get into the Village of I'm so sorry guys. I'm still trying to get over this. I'm trying to get into this Village of Dalton group, and it's called I got into one. One is called Dalton Memories the Way We Were, right? I've asked to join the group about 4 times. Now, the Dalton, there is someone in there that's visible. I'm gonna be honest. This is where the racial situation come in Dalton. I know it seems like it's not a racial situation in Dalton, but it is. It is. And you guys, if you're in here and you want to say anything, it's a I sent the StreamYard link. It's in the comments. Um, and I hope you can hear me okay. It is. It's like anyone can find this group. Only members who can see. So it was two new posts today. And I kept on sending a request. I'm not going to say, but it's not a lot of black people. So it says it's for those that grew up in the Dalton in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, a place we could share memories, good news. They deny me every time. And if you guys didn't realize, and they have the right to, it's their group. But if you guys didn't, I noticed because it lets you see the group members, it's no black people because of course back in those days it wasn't a lot of black people, right? They just immediately deny you. It's nothing that I'm doing. There's nothing I'm doing wrong. I fill out the questionnaire. I fill everything out. But if you're black, you not getting in this group. And I'm just being honest. And whoever the administrator is Scott. It's 5,000 members. And it says no political, no spam, or no ad posts. I'm not doing any of that. But I do think it has it has a color of my skin has a lot to do with it. And I'm just, and this has been maybe 2 weeks that I wanted to contact them just to tell them that I'm talking about the nostalgia. That's what made me bring up the Piscatire Lake. Okay. So the Piscatire Lake is a lake that you have to basically be a relative in the village of Dalton back in the day. They sold the lake for $160,000. Great price, right? And that made that property um private. Now you guys, I said it was the only lake in Dalton. That's not totally true. I'm gonna do another video. It's a lake by Pepe's down under the bridge, by the railroad tracks, sort of over that way. I don't know if that's considered South Holland or if that's considered Dalton, but I'm actually breaking that down because that's another fishing lakes that's private. So it's like when the neighborhood was changing, these lakes privated their domain, if I'm trying to say the correct thing, and you have to be a relative. Now, I would love to know because we did read the background of Bert Herzog, who y'all, if you don't know who Bert Herzog is, sorry, I'm drinking some water. Sorry, guys. Bert Herzog, he lived in Dalton, probably still lives in Dalton, but he lived in Dalton and he was a trustee. But he ran for mayor a couple of times and never really, it never really reached. He really wanted to be mayor. Actually, he probably could have been mayor right after Mayor Hart, but it just didn't. Mayor Shaw got up in there. And he also was a trustee under Mayor Shaw. But Bert Herzog, he was of a Jewish faith. He joined the Piscatire Lounge, and from the reports, when he joined the Piscatire Lounge, which is on 142nd, it was too much stress about like racial jokes allegedly. Then this was back in 1998 he made this statement. So he just gave up his membership after 2 years. Now when you go there, it's a bar, it's a gaming area, it's food, and it's a lake for you to fish. Um, if you just are a regular person that is a taxpayer in Dalton and you want to walk up in there and go fishing, ain't gonna happen. You have to have two people, you have to be related, it has to be a buddy, it has to be two related, you have to be a buddy pal, you have to be a male, and two people have to suggest that you get in there. And that's just how it's been for years. My question is if anyone is a member of the Piscatire Lounge, let me know. Like, no judgment here because I really want to know if someone of another faith, background, or race, let's say they married somebody, let's say they went ahead and married somebody. And I'm sorry guys, let me take Tiffany picture down because she has not, this was way before her time. But let's say you married somebody and they were black. Let's say somebody married or they were gay or they were Jewish or they were Indian. Would they be allowed into the lounge? I just would love to know. Do anyone know that? I would love to know that. Okay, so moving forward, it's another it's another site. I grew up in Dalton, Riverdale, South Holland, and Harvey alumni. And this again is the 60s and 70s, 80s, and that's it. I think the 90s was when you could officially say that the neighborhood started changing, late 80s, early 90s. So that's when they see that you're not in that, they see that, they just don't accept you for no reason whatsoever. Now, I don't want to say that Dalton is all bad. Now let's go back to the security part. When I talk about Tiffany, Mayor Tiffany Henyard having such a huge security detail, we see it everywhere. Maybe four, five, six officers walking with her at one time on the news, or 3 to 4 people blocking it. It doesn't take all that. Like we said, look at Julius and Beyonce. It's just Julius and Beyonce, okay, protecting her. Um, when you have that many people that have to go out of town, have to protect you and stuff like that, I think, I'm not saying that the mayor does not need security. I think she does need somebody on her side. It could be one person. But one thing I think is that it also shows what you think of your community. It also shows how scared you are to be out there in your community alone. That's the bad part about having that huge of a security detail. It shows that you're fearful of the citizens in your own community. That's it, bottom line. Now I do understand the Alexis Wilson case. That oh, you guys will have to do that in a separate video. That was deep. That was something that left a huge hole, a huge opening. I do understand that that was a shift for concern. I also understand that I think that her parents are still with us, possibly her mom for sure, but her parents are still out there and they're with us and they're in the village of Dalton, and she might want to protect them. Like I said, I watched not Dr. Nikita, I watched Trustee Belcher on the late night cruise show give an interview, and when she gave an interview, she was saying that when Mayor Henyard said something about you're not, we don't know where they lay their hands at, but we lay her. She was like, well, she doesn't lay her head here. You know, I think that goes to say about a lot of the people in Dalton that run for Dalton, that work for Dalton. A lot of them don't live in Dalton. Now, let's talk about Dalton really quick. Please don't, please. I'm sorry, y'all. I have to say it. As a South Sider, as a Chicagoan, it's not the worst suburb. It's not the worst. It's like one of those suburbs that's like hanging on a string. Now, if you ever been to the South Side, it's not as bad as no shade, but it's not as bad as Harvey. It's not as bad as Riverdale. That's what I have to say. Dalton, it's like I don't know, but for some reason the further east you go, the better it get. Like you got Dalton, then you got Calumet City, and then you go on to Hammond, which Dr. Nikita and Stephanie from Thornton Township was on Mayor McDermott's podcast, which I thought was very interesting. I want to actually go over that podcast with you guys. But it's like it's not, it's holding on by a thread. Dalton is almost like a flip of a coin. It could go either way. With the right people, it could do right. Now, when it comes to Mayor Tiffany Henyard, what I think she was trying to do is make Dalton look better, make Dalton look pretty. You know what I mean? Make it look like Homewood, make it look like Flossmoor, make it look like it was up and coming. You know what I mean? We got the tiny houses. We got Greenwood Falls, right? She was trying to do the ice skating rink. But with the, I think the trustees are trying to say is before you make it look pretty, you have to do the work of the infrastructure, fix the streets, fix the light poles, do the potholes, tear down some of the dilapidated properties. That has to be first in the budget before we do anything else. And I think that was the issue. I think that the mayor did not want to um do nothing and make it run into the same old same old. You guys, quick thing. Now on this page, we'll be talking about Dalton nostalgia. I don't know. I asked maybe 10 people today that I knew lived in Dalton before. I said, "Do y'all remember the Dalton trolley?" Nobody remember the Dalton trolley. Literally, when I worked for Dalton, I remember the Dalton trolley before I worked for Dalton when I was in high school. I told you my mom would take the Dalton trolley. There was a little red trolley that would go through Dalton at certain times. There was a little schedule. Mayor Hart had it, and it would take people to the bus and to the metro, right? To the main streets if you lived inside. That trolley was sitting up in Public Works in the back for years. I don't know if it still is. I don't know if it broke down. I don't know what happened to the trolley, but it was just dead. That was a really cool thing. And I think that if now, like, people, I see people walking through the city when I go visit, they're walking through and they have their buggies walking to the grocery store, the food for less. It'd be really cool if that trolley could come back. And I think that trolley was only for adults. Okay. Um, Also, when it gets down to the I got a question about hold on. I forgot to show y'all this mug shot about Jason House. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this out. You know what? It might be kind of cool if I just do. Let's just let's do just mm, let me see if I could just do the let's do the video of let me see. I'm sorry guys. And since it's not a lot of people in here, I'm gonna take my time. I hope you don't mind. So if you catch it a replay, I'm gonna take my time. Mm, let's see if I can just pull up my Facebook so we can go over what's going on. You know what I mean? And I know that y'all want to hear me get like down and dirty about the receipts and all that stuff. Let me tell you what I think about that. The receipts and all of that stuff, it got to come out eventually. It got to come out, and it's so sad as a taxpayer that it hasn't came out. It's not gonna come out until it's too late and more money is owed, possibly. But it got to come out eventually, right? So right now we just need the people to work together. Um, Hold on, let me find this. I want to find this Jason House thing because I was like, this was so funny. The comments were funny. There's nothing against Jason House. I just thought it was really funny. Um, Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna take my time because it's not a lot of people in here yet. And thanks for being here. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna pull up my YouTube. But somebody put some up there, and it was it was so funny because people was on the comment like, "Yes, Zaddy." I was like, "Go ahead, Jason. Go ahead, Jason House." Oh my god, it was so funny. I was like, "Y'all ain't do nothing but make Jason House more popular." Y'all, wait a minute. Why was this so funny? Hold on. Hold on. This was so funny. So, if you live in Chicago, it let me pull this up. It was funny because they caught a couple of things. They caught Dalton police officers on 87th Street at the beauty supply. Now, if you're in Chicago and you're on 87th Street, you know that's like the best beauty supply to get some hair. And it was so funny because I just saw this while I was scrolling. I was like, shoot, because I told y'all we can say everything we want to about Mayor Henyard, you won't, but you will not come for that hair color. That hair color on point, y'all. That hair color is on point. Okay, wait, I can't find it. They might have deleted it. They were trying, and it was a doctor. I don't think it was a real mugshot. It was like something like, he had a mugshot for like something like a suspended license. Nothing. It was nothing serious, but it was the way the pictures came out. He looked like Prison Bay. Jason House was giving face, baby. I wish I would have screenshotted. Jason House was giving all kind of face. They tried to put that picture up there, and Jason House was giving face like he was flying fine. Okay, I was like, all right, Jason House, come on, Prison Bay. It was nobody under that picture complaining about nothing. It was nobody complaining about nothing. So I'm scrolling over here on Facebook. Wait, can y'all see me scrolling? Somebody saying something about who is Medina. Who's Medina? And they're having a fit about who Medina is. Let me show y'all this beauty supply picture first. This sent me because if you need some hair, that Big Star Beauty Supply on 87th Street, that's where you go get your hair from. And somebody posted this picture and said Dalton police at the beauty supply on 87th. Did they go get a hair? Did they go get a hair run, girl? That is hilarious. Hey Aubrey, good evening. It's gonna be $10 million in debt. You know, that's gonna be the sad thing. That's gonna be the sad thing. That's why, that's why I really wish that she would just wait. She's not gonna do it, but I wish that someone would advise her. Just wave the white flag and say, look, like first of all, I like when we come to this board meeting. Sorry, y'all, get a little water. When we come to this board meeting on what's the next board meeting? April 1st. Y'all, can you believe it's a leap year, right? The leap year made Easter the end of this month. So when we come to the next board meeting, um it would be nice if she just rearranged that room, have the trustees be surprised when they come in there and the trustees are not on the floor. They're actually up next to her and an apology is made. Like, you know what? Let's start over. We started out as a dream team. Let me tell you something. Sometimes, I'm just being honest. Sometimes things are not so far gone. You know what I mean? Sometimes things are far gone right now. Don't get me wrong, especially when we get down to this accusation over here in Vegas. Things are far gone right now, but sometimes things you could come back from. I've seen numerous videos where most of the trustees have said she was a good person when they first started. They believed in her when she first started. Even Jason House, what was he on? Jason House was on Anton Daniels, and he was like, she had some good. If she's not all bad, she has some good qualities. The boardroom when they come in there on, yeah, I agree. That's too much like right. Thanks, Aubrey. I agree. When they come in there, wouldn't this be cool if they come right back in and the row is set just like this? Just like this, in unison. And they don't, let me tell you, the trustees don't know nothing about it. It's set in you. Look, mine is Andrew Holmes allegedly, because this is my thing about Andrew Holmes, you guys. I'm not trying to Like I said, I don't have a dog in this fight, but I just find it sad. Um, he's a community activist, and we saw him. I guys, if you haven't saw my playlist, go to my playlist. I just recently posted a video where he was he did a citizen's arrest on his brother. Today we had fun for 3 hours this morning. Thanks for being there with me. And we were talking about just stuff that was going on, and like, would you accept a citizen's arrest? Like if somebody was trying to arrest you. So what if his brother Eric did the same thing? It was like, oh, I saw my brother was on the news and he did this stuff allegedly to this woman. I'm doing a citizen's arrest. Minus him, put him, don't bring him to the board meeting next month. But allegedly, like I'm saying, we don't know what happened. But if she came into the board, if the trustees came into the boardroom, Trustee Kiana Belcher picture was back hanging up where it should be. As an elected official, she was voted for. She was elected. She deserves to have her picture up there. She deserves that respect. Have her picture hanging back up, right? Have them all aligned in unison and start the board meeting off in unity. It's so much controversy because it's such a separation. It's such a separation and it's not fair. It's just not. Um y'all. So back in the day, like we're always gonna do back in the day stories. Sorry guys. We're always gonna do it back in the day. I worked for the village of Dolton back in the day, like the 1900s. Like this is before Chingy was doing the chicken head. This is way before Nelly said, get your eagle, old girl, get your eagle. This was way before, y'all. This was way before. If you guys are a Southsider, this is way before the 50-yard line had officially opened. Okay, on Halston, the new 50-yard line. Okay, it was a couple of people running for mayor. Do y'all want to hear who was running for mayor? Oh my God! So let's start it off. Okay, so if you're in here, I have 5 people in here, and I don't mind. Please hit the subscribe button. Thank you. My goal is to get to 5,000 subscribers. Okay, so you guys, I'm gonna start off. We're gonna have a little fun tonight. We're gonna talk about all the people that ran for mayor, right? Hey, just humble me, Clark. When I tell you, it's always a joy to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so I told y'all about Jesse Jackson. So we're gonna go down the list. It was a guy named Larry Rogers. Not only was he a dentist, but he also was a commissioner, right? Then we had Riley Rogers. He ended up becoming a mayor eventually. We had Bert Herzog. He never became a member. But drum roll, please. I just thought this was so interesting. And I actually like this lady. She's in Chicago. Let's talk about it. Have you guys ever heard of Easy E? You ever heard of Easy E? And you heard of NWA? Put a 1 in the chat if you heard of NWA. It was Dr. Dre, Easy E. Easy E decided to, because he created NWA, he decided to create HWA, which was Hoes with Attitude. And one of them members was Miss Kimmy Kim. She's in the center. Boss mom, real boss chick, Kimmy Kim. Baby, she ran for mayor of Dolton. She ran for mayor of Dolton at one point, got some votes, y'all. This was back in the day. And she opened this huge establishment. It's now extinct. But it was called y'all, if you're from Dolton, let me know what it was called. Was it called the Premier? It was on like Sibley. It was this huge, the Joe River Center. Wasn't it the Joe River Center? She opened this establishment in Dolton called the Joe River Center. Y'all, let me tell you a story about your girl Burgundy. We went to a Floetry concert there, got VIP. It was so nice. So back in the day, Kimmy Kim could not, and I'm talking about she was part of Hoes with Attitude, baby. That's a bad mama jamma right there. She's a real boss mom, real boss. She's still in Chicago to this day. And she got that money, baby. She got that money. I think she owns like Joe Willie. Why does everything start with Joe? Is that her dad name, maybe? But Joe Willie Seafood. I think that's something she owns in Chicago and in Harvey. But it was Joe Willie Seafood. Like she's always been this entrepreneur. And yes, I'm telling you, she was signed by Easy E. So she could not get a lot of her things approved back in the day, you know, sort of like what's going on now when these businesses still have the red tape and they haven't gotten stuff approved. So she couldn't get things approved to open all these businesses she wanted to open. So she said, freak it, I'm gonna run for mayor. And she ran for mayor. Hey, Miss Indeed. Hey, Aubrey. Thank you for hitting the one. Y'all just humble me, Clark. Y'all remember Easy E. Y'all remember Hoes with Attitude. And baby, she was. So we talking about, and this ain't no shade to Kimmy Kim because Kimmy Kim get that money, baby. She get that money. Follow her on Instagram. I think her Instagram name is Kimmy Kim. I think she opened like a King of Diamonds in Chicago. I'm gonna go to her Instagram page. It's really quite interesting. She was very successful, but y'all, she was like she would have been the original city girl, right? She was too hot because that would have been like the early 2000s. She put in her bid for mayor of Dolton. And let's go to her page. This Kimmy Kim, y'all. This Kimmy, y'all, ain't no shade. Kimmy, get it how you live, baby. Look at Kimmy Kim. So if she was in HWA back when NWA was cracking, how old she have to be by now? She has to be up there like she look good, but she has to be up there about how old you think Ice Cube is? Maybe 55, maybe 55. Y'all, this she ran for mayor of Dolton and she got some votes, y'all. She did get some votes. She had the money, she had the backing, she was opening the business. Her campaign was going pretty good. And I don't know why I'm laughing. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's like the way she set up the camera and she's like, y'all, I'm gonna get in trouble being on here. I'm laughing at just humble me, Clark. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. I think it's the way she start the camera off, like uh look at me, like it's like okay, action. That's what I think makes me laugh. So right here when we're flipping through, she's talking about she love her city. So y'all, we might see her run. She can't do no worse than Brandon Johnson. She can't. Kimmy Kim can't do no worse than Brandon Johnson at all in Chicago. So we might see Kimmy Kim run for mayor of Chicago, baby. But I do remember she was very loving. She had a son and she very much doted on her son. And like I said, you look, she opened a restaurant now. I don't know what she got going. Is this a neck bone? I love it. I love it, y'all. Please consider joining my channel. We're going to put these videos over on the membership side of my channel because of copyright, right? So put it, you guys, please consider just hit the join button or join my Patreon. We're going to put it over there. My girl got a neck. That neck bone actually looked tender as heck. Like that, I eat that neck bone over some rice, a turkey neck bone. Give it to me. But yes, Kimmy Kim ran for mayor of Dalton. Y'all, I'm gonna give y'all that. Y'all don't know. We're gonna talk about some Dalton history. So she was very much different. She wasn't really. She was different. She really wasn't walking through like that. But she always was super sexy, and she had that bag, y'all. She had the money. So even when people didn't back her, she was able to back herself financially as a mayoral candidate of Dalton. So yes, this could have been our mayor of Dalton at one point. Really could have been. So y'all, if you don't remember, if you remember this and you were a dog night and you remember seeing the real boss mom, Kimmy Kim, early 2000s on the ballot, let me know. It was really, I'm just flipping through her Instagram so we can see Joe Willie's. So I remember it was called the Joe River Center. That's what it was called. So Joe must have some kind of significant, and it's really sad. I have a question. You know how they're fighting over that building from that doctor over there? They really could use the Joe River Center. Like, why don't they use the old Joe River Center for something instead of fighting over that building with Dr. Scott? That building over there in Dalton, the Joe River Center, is just sitting there stagnant. It's not doing anything. So it went from Joe River Center. She ran for mayor, and then it went to, I think she gave it up or whatever happened, and then she went over to the 50-yard line and opening this place and that pet place, and then it went to the premiere. And the premiere, and you guys, it wasn't a bad spot. It was right off Sibley, in between 57 and 94. It was a venue. I think I went there. I know I saw Floetry when I went there. Um, I saw. I saw before Kanye West became Kanye West. I don't quote me, but I think he was there. I definitely saw R. Kelly there. I definitely saw other R&B groups there. So I don't understand why that place is just sitting there open as a big warehouse. And I do believe that's Dalton. Correct me if I'm wrong, because that's in one of the areas where it was Dalton on one side, Harvey on the other side. But I do believe the Joe River Center was Dalton. But yes, this could have been our mayor, Miss Kimmy Kim. And she did get her a couple of votes, and she did check that bag to run her campaign. And I think she ran against, at the time, Larry Rogers and Robert Shaw. Really interesting, right? Y'all, I'm telling you, come over here. I know people saying that my commentary is boring when it comes to Dalton, but sorry, guys. I want, and just a few people. I want to talk about other stuff than the same old thing. I think the other YouTubers really are holding their own with that. They're definitely saying, "Show us the receipts. Show us the receipts." I want the receipts too. I want to see what's going on as well. But as I learned listening to some of the podcasts, especially the McDermott, the guy from Indiana, the mayor from Indiana, when Stephanie and Dr. Nikita got on there, I learned stuff I didn't even know was possible. Okay, let's talk about the receipts of Dalton right quick and the trustees. Thank God it's 4 to 6, right? If you're definitely for what's going on now with the trips and using the credit cards and not showing the receipts. Like when I saw my you guys, I'm not gonna say I have a favorite trustee, but why these trustees ended up turning like the Avengers? It's almost like the trustees are the freaking Avengers now. Um, hold on. Let's go to the group of trustees. Um, I just want to pull up the board of trustees. And thanks for being here, y'all. Make sure you hit the like button as you come in. Y'all give me some of that love. Y'all giving the other people talking about, y'all, I'm putting my neck out here. I'm putting my neck on the line. Y'all think Hannibal over there? Hannibal over there? Where he in Wisconsin somewhere? He over there in North Dakota. He ain't got a worry in the world. Don't got a worry in the world. He talk about Dalton all day long. Make sure y'all go ahead and show me some love over here. Those people that's doing commentary, not even close to, and I like their commentary. Don't get me wrong, they're not even close to having a relationship with the Village of Dalton. So show me some love and make sure you hit that like. Okay. So this is the board of trustees. Let me tell you something. The Village of Dalton website has never looked better. I'm gonna give you that. It ain't never looked better. It used to look like a web page. It used to look like the Village of Dalton website used to look like when you had to get off the phone so you can get on the internet. That's how it used to look. Real back in the day, you couldn't be on the phone and the internet at the same time. It has never looked better. Okay, so let's go over here and take a look at the Village of Dalton while we're here. So we got our trustees right here. We got Jason House, which y'all, I gotta find that mugshot picture. This picture don't give Jason House, and it was an alleged mugshot picture. I gotta find it. Somebody posted it on Facebook, and they were like, "Oh, he got pulled over for a suspended license. You think he innocent?" Nobody care about him getting pulled over by no suspended license. But he was giving zaddy Jason House. Okay, he was giving zaddy. Then we got. I'm not gonna say these are the Avengers, y'all. I'm not gonna say I have a favorite trustee. But so far, my favorite trustee is Brittany Norwood. I am fangirling over Brittany Norwood because she just seems so calm and so neutral. Like you don't never. She seems like she's in the controversy, but not really in the controversy. You know what I'm saying? Like all she wants you to do is put the stuff on the jumbotron. She don't want no trouble. She just wants you put it up on the jumbotron so she can go home and do what she got to do. If I gotta give best voice out of the trustees, Kiana Belcher voice, I love it. I don't know what it is about Trustee Kiana Belcher and that voice she has, but she needs to do voiceovers for TV. Like she needs to get into acting and skip the finance. Kiana Belcher could be like Cree Summer and do voiceover for like cartoons. Her voice is so cool to me. Okay. Trustee Stanley Brown. Don't know much about him. I don't do is him and Tammy Brown any relation? Brown is a common name, but I'm just talking about the whole post office situation. Were they friends before this? Did they know each other? I just want to know. Tammy Brown, she gets best hair color, honey. I love her hair color. I love her face. She's just the Avenger with the style, okay? Andrew Holmes, I just never connected with Andrew Holmes. I told you guys it's nothing against Andrew Holmes, but we had a running joke in our community. Like, how come every time something happens, Andrew Holmes is there before the police? If it's a theft, y'all, we watched like 3 citizens arrest today on our live this morning. Andrew Holmes, before the crime happens, he's there. He's a witness. Uh, he's there before the news, the ambulance, and the police. It don't make sense. That's my only thing. And I always wondered, not to say he don't live in Dalton. I don't know anything about it. Not saying nothing like that. But it was just like, where did he come from? We know he was a city advocate. He was a Southside Chicago advocate. Like, where did he come from? That's it. That's all. I don't have any uh thing else to say about it. That's just how I be feeling when I see Andrew Holmes. So yeah, this is our Avengers for Dalton, y'all. They are like the Dalton Avengers. So yeah, so far, and then I forgot about Trustee Edward. He has a two last names. Edward Steve. Am I saying it right? Trustee Steve. He's like our honorary Avenger. So I wonder who got Trustee Steve's seat out of all of the Avengers up here. Sorry, guys. Was it? I'm trying to get over this cold. Was it Andrew Holmes or was it Stanley Brown? And y'all, Stanley Brown got like 950 jobs. Okay. He's a trustee over in Dolton. He's a trustee over, I mean, he retired as well. So just imagine his bag. You know, Stanley Brown's Zelle, Cash App, and his direct deposit go off every 5 minutes. Stanley Brown is freaking trustee in Dolton. Then he's the trustee at Thornton Township. Then he's the finance whatchamacallit. Then he over there at the school in District 205 on the board. Good Lord. Good Lord. How many jobs do you have? How many jobs do you have? Yes, all the trustees got more votes than Tiffany. And y'all, when we talking about jobs, I want y'all to realize this. I could go to the Village of Dalton website right now, fill out an application, be qualified as F. You're not going to get in unless you have a referral. You just not. You're not going to get in unless somebody know you. You know what I mean? Hey, Big Mike. He says Stan Brown isn't the trustee of Thornton Township. He is the ZAP. Hold on. Stan Brown. Thank you for that. Cause I saw him sitting up on the board. I saw him. Oh, he's over half. He used Henyard's assist. Oh, it's called. As you called it Zap, right? For Zuckerberry Assistance Program, but now it's called HAP. Because it's Henyard's Assistance Program. Thanks for that. Thank you. Now it's called Big Mike. It's now called HAP. Did you know that? I just found that out because of you. Thank you for telling me that. So wait a minute. You said yes, Tammy Brown. Is Tammy Brown related to Stanley Brown? Can anybody tell me that? I just wondered that. I'm just wondering that. Okay. So you guys. So these are our Avengers of Dalton. You know what I mean? So you right now you got a 4-2 vote. Now, that's what we are with it. You know what I mean? And y'all put Trustee Kiana Belcher picture back up there. It don't make no sense that she's sitting at every board meeting with her picture on her podium. That is embarrassing. Even if I didn't take it down, even if I didn't do it, even if it didn't fall, thank you for that, Big Mike. Thank you. It's no relation between Stan and Tammy. I was just wondering because that post office thing, it kind of threw me off. Put her picture. It would be no way she coming to a board meeting every day. Not every day, but y'all know I'm exaggerating. But every time it's a board meeting, she got her picture. That's embarrassing for all of America to see. That is embarrassing. Okay, embarrassing. Okay, so you guys, let's get into it. So I thought you guys are already sending me the PMs, the messages. Yes, I'm not playing. Kimmy Kim, the real boss mom, host with attitude. She ran for mayor of Dalton. Why y'all think I'm making this up? I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Look, what they say in the board meeting, fact check, fact check. She ran for mayor of Dalton, and it was actually pretty cool. It was actually pretty cool to see because it was a shock. They were like, she on the ballot, she is running, y'all. She is running. Okay, now I don't know where the vote, because I don't even know if I lived in Dalton back then, so I don't think so I don't know what the ballot said, but she definitely was a candidate for mayor of Dalton. She ran her own campaign. Yes, she did. Yes, she did, as owner of the Joe River Center, as a member of Hoes with Attitude, curated by the Easy E. That's our Kimmy Kim right there in the middle. Y'all better put some respect on her name. Put some respect on her name. So that's what you're coming over here for, y'all. I'm just giving you the Village of Dalton history. And like I said, I wish I could find the list of old trustees and photos. Like I wish it was something like, you remember when you would go to school in high school and it would be all the presidents lined up. It would be all the presidents lined up over chalkboard for you to see, and you would know all the presidents. I wish it was like that for the village of Dalton, like where we can have a, maybe the trustees should do that on their page, the old trustees, because y'all, it was some characters back in the day in the trustees. Now I wonder, now I remember, now when I was coming up, I worked for the housing department. I told you guys I work for Public Works. Let's start with Public Works. I told you guys the Public Works dude. Oh yeah, Stanley Brown wife is a call township trustee. Stanley Brown wife is a trustee. Oh, they're listed at the Dorchester. I'm gonna go up there. I want to see. Y'all is a door. Wait a minute. Why did my cousin get married at the Dorchester? And it was so funny because you had to. I mean, not the wedding was beautiful, but it was so funny because we had to walk through. I don't know why the Dorchester was an event venue because you had to walk through like the senior the citizens area, like they would have a chow time and we walking through to go to the wedding, to the grand ballroom or whatever at the Dorchester, and we over there like it's time for the percolator, it's time for the percolator. These people try to enjoy their time, they pay rent over here, and we over there acting a fool. It was just a mess, it was just a mess. um did the Dorchester used to be a hotel? I did not know that. Speaking of hotels, why do we have that hotel in Dalton? Who idea was that? Who idea was it to put this lingerie when you get off on Sibley and you go through Dalton? It's like a sign that say lingerie. Now it was so funny. So you guys, now this part isn't funny, but it is. You guys know I'm a former Daltonite. My mom got sick. She had a stroke. She got sick. She passed away. So family wanted to come in town while she was sick. So they were like calling me like, "Oh, I just booked at the local hotel. Is this okay?" No, it's not. No, it's um, it's not. And I'm sorry, no shade to this business owner. But no, it's not okay for you to book at this hotel. I know it. I know it say the best hotels for $82. What's it called? I'm looking for it. So they were like, "Oh, can we stay at the Baymont?" Because the Baymont was kind of normal. But I'm trying to think of the other hotel. It's another hotel. Is it called Prestigious? What did that hotel used to be? Was that the Red Lobster? No, the Red Lobster was. It wasn't Shakey's. The Red Lobster was. It turned into a soul food place at one point. It was Ponderosa over there, Red Lobster, and then it was like Dusty's, right? So, oh, I found it, y'all. I found it. I found the hotel. So, they were like, "Oh, we're coming into town. Is it okay if we stay at this hotel?" Uh, no, it's not. You need to go, and I'm not down in Dalton, but you need to go. You don't need to be nowhere at this hotel unless you need 3 hours or less. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Okay, let's start with this hotel. I don't know anything about it. Never been there. I'm an honest lady now in my elder years. I was more of what was the name of that? What was the name of that? Y'all, I'm about to make y'all laugh if y'all a Dalton night or a South Highland night or a South Side. I was a more of a take it. I gotta remember the name of this place. It was this hotel in Lansing. I can't think of the name of it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I was me and my boyfriend at the time when I was like 22 years old. Shout out to him. He'll know. No, I wasn't even 22. I met him at Great America at graduation, so he'll know if he ever come across this because we're Facebook friends. I think he's my YouTube friend. But I met him at graduation. He went to Thornridge, and but he was older than me. And I met him at Great America because back in the day, you would go to after graduation at Thornridge, you would go to Great America for a senior trip. So I met my boyfriend, the love of my life at that time. And I was more of a pioneer slash Cherry Lane girl. So I'm y'all, y'all in these you had to be a South Sider. I wasn't a Snooty Fox or a Stony Island motel girl. I was more of a Cherry Lane slash the Pioneer girl in Lansing before I got my apartment. Um, so we were like 18. We were so young that we didn't have. I think he had an ID to get in the hotel, and I wasn't old enough. That sound like some R. Kelly stuff, but I think I was barely 18, probably 17, 18. But anyway, yeah. So I think he was 18, I was 17. But yeah, that was my mood. So I don't know anything about the Lux hotel here, but the lingerie, the slot sign, we had elderly people coming on over to uh visit my mom. They didn't want to put us out because there's a lot going on. And they were like, "Oh, can I stay at the Baymont or here?" No, absolutely not. Let me them hotel. That's what I said. Exactly, Erica. Like them hotels on Stony Island. Girl, you read my mind. Like I said, I wasn't part of the Snooty Fox. Y'all remember? Look, let's talk about Chicago. I'm a Southside girl. Remember Pastor Corey Brooks? Pastor Corey Brooks from Chicago. If you're from Chicago, remember he was standing over some hotel. Was it on Stony Island? But he basically was protesting, and he wanted the hotel shut down, and the whole church was on the roof. Let me know if you remember that. That was back in the day. Like he was like, it was a. I don't know why I keep calling it the Snooty Fox, but it was some hotel on the south side, and Pastor Corey Brooks would stay on the roof until they shut it down. It was quite interesting. Yeah. So I got a lot of Chicago people in here. I appreciate y'all. Y'all see, y'all can validate what I'm talking about. Dolton was blue collar suburb and had factory jobs. Big Mike. Okay, so I did a video earlier today. I went live and I was driving through Dolton to show you guys where the water power is going to be. I didn't realize, I'm sorry guys, I didn't realize till one of my friends told me that used to be a steel mill for factory jobs. I remember it was something, I thought it was industrial, but it was a steel mill in Dalton at one point. Remember that? Oh my God. Really interesting. Thanks for putting that there. In the 1980s, the factories left and so did homeowners. Under Daily Sun plan for transformation to demolish the projects and gave them, thanks for that, vouchers to move to places like Dalton. Oh wow. This see y'all, this what this channel is about. We're talking Dalton history because stuff has been going on. Things let me tell you, things are bad. Things are bad. But I just want to talk about some of the history and how things could change. And I think this young administration can really make the change. I'm not saying the trustees been waving a white flag in my opinion. I think now it's time for maybe the mayor and Keith Freeman and whoever else, the other two trustees, all to run to wave the white flag together and make Dalton what they want it to be. You know what I mean? Let me keep on reading. Thanks for this knowledge, Big Mike. Vouchers to move it to places like Dalton. Crime has since been on the rise. New Beginning Church. That's what it was. Corey Brooks. Yes, across the street from his church. He was trying to shut that hotel down. He was trying to shut that hotel down. So, y'all. So, yeah. So they were like, oh, I found a hotel. It was $80. No, no. Get up out of there. Now, I don't know what goes on in this hotel. I don't. I'm just saying that wasn't nowhere I wanted my 75-year-old aunt to stay. On one of them water beds up in But nonetheless, it's a business in Dalton, paying taxes, sales taxes, all of that good stuff, and bringing revenue in at the end of the day. That's what I want to say. This whole administration should step down. Honestly, it's really too much. Yeah, it's too much. It's becoming kind of embarrassing, right? It's becoming so embarrassing. How did the citizens vote for someone like that? I will actually say, I think, let me tell you this. This is my, I said I wasn't going to give my opinion. I'm going to give a small opinion here. With these bad eyes I got, these two eyeballs, as Tiffany Henyard was trustee, she was out there more than any trustee I've seen in the 100 years I've been on this earth. Okay. She was out there pounding the pavement for the people, making sure the seniors were good, making sure the community was good, doing what she doing what she does. She was moving and shaking. That's why she was a shoe in for supervisor of Thornton Township. And that's why she was a shoe in for the mayor of Dalton, and the trustees backed her. Did no one hit the pavement harder than Tiffany Henyard? She did not have as much media coverage that she get now, that is the negative stuff. Like I said, I'm not on anybody's side, but we got to state the facts at some point. She didn't have as much media coverage as she has now when the negative stuff is coming about and that she's mayor. But as a trustee, she was definitely out there fighting for the people. And that is the truth. That is the God's honest truth. Everybody, when the trustees said they voted her in, they did, because she was hitting the pavement full time as a trustee for the village of Dalton, right? When people talk about like her failed business with Good Burger, I don't think that that should be an issue. People fall, get up, fall, get up. Um, I think the problem is, now this is where I'm gonna voice my opinion at this. I think now is her time where she want to show people, you see, all y'all thought I wasn't nothing. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna be nothing, to look at me now. And I think that's the Tiffany Henyard we see now. That's what I think the situation is. Now, I don't think it was a mistake when they voted her in. I think they voted her in under good pretenses. I don't think it was a issue with her, and it wasn't media coverage with her until she became Thornton Township supervisor. When she became Thornton Township supervisor, that's when people started to see the change in Dalton, and money was being spent, credit cards, blah blah blah. Administration was changing. People who had been with Zuccarelli for 20, 30 years had to leave. It just became an entire mess. And that's where I think we are now. And I think the situation just all the way over is, I told y'all I was gonna do it. Now, when I hear about like tea, like when people talking about tea, um, I think a lot of it got to be with, because doesn't she have, I think she has a baby that's about probably 4 or 5 years old, right? Okay. I'm talking, let me take her down because I'm not talking about her per se right now. Okay, imagine you, and if you hear, please hit the like button so people can find this little channel. Imagine you struggling. Now we're gonna take all the controversy out. We're gonna take all the controversy out. Let's just imagine this. Imagine you struggling, trying to make it, trying to make ends meet. This is just my thoughts, right? You're trying to make ends meet. You're trying to make do, trying to make a better life for yourself. You got the you got a job as a trustee. Now, if the mayor of Dalton is only paying $50,000 a year, I'm imagining trustees are only getting 25,000 a year. That's my assumption, maybe 30. Trustees don't make a lot of money. So you're a trustee. Then you have a business, the business is up, the business is down. Now you hit with the pandemic. So now the pandemic that happened. Now on top of that, your daughter father then moved on. You because I don't think her baby, and I said I'm not talking about it, but I'm sort of talking about it. So your baby barely 4 or 5 years old, you're a single parent, your baby daddy that moved on, got married, had another baby, right? So now you out here just, I'm lost in the woods. Like Kanye, I'm all alone, you just alone, right? And you're trying to figure out your place. And on top of that, the pandemic happened. I tell y'all about the pandemic and how a business owner, I'm still trying to find my way back. I'm still fighting, right? So you're out there with a daughter, trustee, low wages, right? All of a sudden, you got this dream team that believe in you, right? And they're like, look, we're going to push you to be mayor. We're going to push you to the forefront. They push you, and what, 2022, you become the mayor, the first Black female mayor. Man, that got to do something to your self esteem. That has to do something to your self esteem, right? Now you're the first Black female mayor. You're doing so good. You're making changes in the community. You're bringing things out for the youth, which was not a thing. The seniors had things under Zuccarelli in the south suburbs. Zuccarelli always did something for the seniors. And then you had the park district for the youth. But it wasn't like the mayors previously, in my opinion, was really sitting over there doing more than giving you some hot dogs at the Jazz Fest. I don't shoot the messenger. If I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong. But I ain't seen nothing more than a DJ at the Jazz Fest with the other mayors, right? So now you're voted in as Thornton Township supervisor. So now you went from struggling barely, you making it, but you ain't really making it, to not only being a supervisor, you a mayor, a liquor commissioner, and something with the Democrat. She's in some kind of women's Democratic National Convention. She got some kind of position over there. You are at the White House. Dorothy Brown got to come work for you. You are a woman in power, and what makes you in power is not the money, but you hold all the jobs. Those jobs are something important. Those jobs are something important, y'all. Y'all don't even get that. You hold the jobs, okay? Um, Now you got all the people that said you wasn't gonna be nothing. See that you something. But on top of that, everybody trying to tear you down. So it's like you don't know what to do, and you're getting bad advice. You don't know what to do. So if we put everything to the side, like I think the main thing now, especially with this allegations, let's talk about the allegations. I'm gonna read the comments in one second. We got these allegations going up. Now, the YouTube people that found out allegedly is Andrew Holmes, right? You got a freaking community activist that been by your side all the time. On top of that, let's really talk about it. Y'all saw that video when Tiffany's talking. I'm so glad she never break down like that. You know what I mean? And cry like that. I remember crying at a job. It was the worst thing I ever did. It was the worst thing I ever did. Cry at a job. Let somebody see me cry. Not only that, you got Stan Brown. You saw that video. He rubbing her arm when she trying to talk about how people down on her, rubbing her arm like she a little kid, like she's not, like she hasn't excelled the position that any of that he has. You know what I mean? Um, Not keeping it professional, but sort of coddling her. It's a lot. I couldn't imagine waking up with all this weight on my on my shoulders. It come with the seat. Yes, it come with the seat. But this stuff stays forever. So now you got these allegedly. You didn't went to Vegas. You done went to Vegas. And you ain't take these three, which should have went to Vegas. You should have took them. You took them two on the ends, not Tammy. You took them. And look what came out of that. Man, I would be fighting mad. Now, why is she not on TV right now? Like I said, I wasn't gonna talk about, but it turns to be talking about. Why is she not on TV right now? Like he is gone without pay until the investigation is over. I don't know. Who is in charge of the girls? Okay, let's read these comments. Big Mike, you got a lot of, I like that you got a lot of insight about what's going on. Thanks for being here. I could tell you she is going to lose the township seat. Dalton may be a toss up, but the Democratic establishment do not like her and want her replaced. Hence, that is why she's not. She and the trustees. Yeah. I think passed a resolution to make the salary decline significant. Did that pass? Did that resolution pass? Now let me tell you this. I think you're right. And I think that somebody's gonna come for the seat for $25,000 either way. Because sometimes it's not about the money, it's about the power and the jobs. And you're gonna find a way to get the money and get donations and get campaign money anyway to run for township, right? I think that's crazy. Now, what I think about that when they passed that resolution, that if she stays in the seat, her salary stay the same. But if she leaves, she cut that. It was supposed to be Zuccarelli. He had already made. She said on Roland Martin, he already made that decision, right? So if Zuccarelli was to leave that seat, it would have been $50,000. They slashed that in half to $25,000 in this economy. That kind of sucked. And when you think about it, Zuccarelli worked his way up to that amount because he was in that position for 30 years. So $50,000 might have been where he started. I don't know, but I'm just saying. And they cut it in half, but that sucks. But somebody in that seat, if it's part-time and they got a job somewhere else, they don't mind. If it's a part-time position, who cares? Go ahead. $25,000, who cares? If you got another job. Someone like State Senator Napoleon Harris. Napoleon Harris has what? A football retirement, right? He's a state senator. He owns Beggar's Pizza. He got money. So if he was to be Thornton Township supervisor, $25,000 doesn't mean that anything to him. He could do that. So why when you're doing something like that and you already got the money, it's sometimes not about the money. Just my thoughts. She has been shady business owner before the pandemic. She only won because Riley had a stroke and his supporters did not come out. Hey, you know what? I didn't know if Riley was still with us, but I was watching a board meeting and I saw he was at the board meeting. I was on the Dolton Trustees website and I saw that Riley was at one of the board meetings, and Edward. I hope I'm getting, but Trustee Steve, ex Trustee Steve, he went up and talked to him. I said, "That's Riley Rogers." She act like she's the only black woman in Dalton. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Oh, wait a minute, Big Mike. What did we just say that? Oh, I was talking about Napoleon Harris. Yes, Napoleon Harris, state senator, holds a lot of the job. Yes, he does. So he could. I just was bringing that up. He's a Democratic committee man and state senator. I know exactly who. Thornton Township, stand up. When she was trustee, she tried to get Andrew Holmes removed. That is true. That is very true. How did it become? That's what we were talking about. Those relationships. Like, I don't know if you were in our live earlier today when we were talking about the campaign manager, over there in Dalton. I'm gonna play it for you, Big Mike, because I would like to know if you know any insight about this. Um, what happened? I would like to know what happened between her and Trustee Gonzalez, who nominated her. And I also would like to know what happened to her and her campaign manager, how they fell out. I would love to know. Frank was so powerful that Barack Obama had to personally ask for Frank's endorsement when he ran for U.S. Senate. Frank was so powerful because he was the supervisor of the Democratic Committee and president of South Suburban College. All of that sounds good. You're really nice and all, but she's a crook. And let me tell you, Aubrey, we all have we're critical thinkers over here. It's no wrong, it's no wrong, no right. You could let me tell you, your opinion matters. I'm telling you that. Hey, outer space, thanks for being here. Oh, okay. I was wondering if Napoleon. Now, I was wondering if Napoleon Harris was going for mayor or township supervisor. If Napoleon Harris go for township supervisor, I think he'll win. I think he'll win. I think he'll win. I'm an insider. Let me tell you something. It's a lot of insiders in Dalton. I know that because some of my YouTube, like the YouTube friends that I have, they be having inside scoop about stuff, and then I'll look a week later and the stuff will come out. So it's a mole, not you, Big Mike. You not the mole, but it's a mole up there in that camp too. Let's play this since I got an insider in here, y'all. I want to know about this. Where is I'm so curious because I think I told y'all earlier. This guy seemed like a nice guy. I knew of him growing up. He seemed like a nice guy. And I was just that he came to the board meetings and were cursing and carrying on. And I actually sort of had to go out there. Like y'all, I told y'all this stuff ain't new. When they be like, oh, they have to campaign because of y'all. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble. I can't get them in trouble because they then went up a yonder now. Baby, when I tell you I had to campaign for this brother and his twin brother to keep my job, baby, it ain't no lie in my game. That's what it was. It was like, you gave me the job, it's campaign time. I'm out there knocking on doors. And that's just what it was. I didn't know if it was wrong. I didn't know if it was right. But I know if you said no, that precinct captain was going to report you. Okay. Um, let's play this. Big Mike, give me your thoughts on Chris Gonzalez and the campaign manager. Hit that like button, y'all. Appreciate you.
I nominate Tiffany Henyard for township supervisor.
You're making a mockery out of this for real. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. This is ridiculous. Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Gray Everett?
Yes.
Yes. She has to sign the warrant, and then she's got to take the oath in 9 minutes. Let's go.
Put your hands together for your new township supervisor, Tiffany Henyard. Wow.
Now, the word on the street, they don't even talk no more. So what happened? Because I'm gonna play this on silent. So this was at 11:53 at night. She became tapped. So what happened with? I know his name, but the guy in the green hat. I'm not gonna say it. What happened? Y'all, this part is what sent me. This is what sent me. When he said this, listen to the lady.
Y'all can have the bed, baby. Y'all can have that shit.
When he said y'all can have the baby, y'all can have that shit. I was like, because the lady asked, how could she be mayor and supervisor secretary? He's like, you can have that shit. I was wondering what happened to this lady over here. She just shook it, y'all, because that was the one that was locked out the office later on. I was just wondering, what happened to their friendship? Because to me, he would have been the Keith Freeman. He would have been the village administrator. Like, he was going hard for her. So what actually happened with their friendship? I like and he was really under Zuccarelli. He was tough running for Zuccarelli. Like, Zuccarelli was his guy. And when Zuccarelli died, and I only know that because I had to campaign against them when Robert Shaw decided to run for mayor of South Holland. We knew that wasn't going to happen. We knew South Holland wasn't going to let Robert Shaw be the mayor. But when we had some interaction, and I was just like, because I didn't know how politics worked, it was very competitive, even on the campaign trail with the people when we were supposedly volunteering for free. It was competitive with us. We was against each other at each other's throats just to hand out flyers in front of the what do you call it when you go to the polling place. It was a fight out there. So I was just wondering what really happened. Like, now they don't even talk. And this guy right here with the gray jacket, I saw him at one of the Thornton Township board meetings too. And he was saying something allegedly like he didn't agree with. Then we got Chris Gonzalez, who nominated her initially, and it's just all bad. And I'm just wondering what happened. Like, how did this happen? It's like when I see this video, I see an honest person at that time that is so happy and life was about to change. And she couldn't believe that she made history twice. And now it all went left. I just don't understand it. Oh, he got a job at the township. Now I do know that he was a coach, but did he get a job at the township? That would be awesome because I was watching let me see if I got it here. I was watching the interview with Dr. Nikita Cloud, and she mentioned how he was a the campaign manager, and it turned into, hold on, let's see. Well, let me not play that because that get me into the messy realm, and we're trying not to go messy. But I want to play this. I am very intrigued about Stephanie and where she's going around. Hold on, Left to Center podcast. That's what I want. Left to Center podcast. Right here. Let's listen to a little bit of this podcast about the township money. I'm gonna let you guys. I would love to know your opinions. Let's talk about it. And I have 48 people in here. Please hit the like button. If I could have 40 of you hit the like button, it would mean the world. Okay, let's talk about it. Come on.
So we had interaction. We knew who she was. I was like, okay, you guys, this isn't going to be bad. She's still part of our team. Let's wait it out. Let's see what happens. That was a Thursday night. She was appointed. Friday.
Now that is interesting. Thanks for that, Big Mike. I was wondering how she got over to Dolton Park District. I thought that was interesting. So you guys, we're about to watch a little bit of the Left of Center podcast. This was so interesting. Mayor McDermott, who's from Hammond, Indiana, he's been following Tiffany Henyard, and he brought Dr. Nikita and Stephanie Wiedemann over to his podcast. And Stephanie Wiedemann is going to explain how the township money was spent. And actually, the township money was spent legally. It was spent legally. Like, she didn't have to get approval. And I think a lot of people missed that. And I thought that this was an interesting podcast to bring that out.
Wow. George Floyd thing. So they're
That was tough
protesting.
times.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
So
let's
definitely
talk
that's
about
not
security
anything you want to
first.
say.
That's right.
So
Thanks.
Happy
Appreciate it.
10% off in Cal City.
That's right. 10% off. Yeah.
So this is the mayor of Hammond, y'all. He like allegedly he smokes weed. He's really cool. He have this festival where rappers come. I didn't know much about him until I started watching this podcast. But it's him and it's his lawyer advisor. Let's listen to it. Thanks for being here, y'all.
Yeah, I love it out there. So you
but-
guys, by the way, like Illinois was huge when they legalized. That was a great move. Did you guys in Thornton Township and in Dolton, did you see a lot of increased traffic from Indiana? Obviously, right?
actually,
Y'all, did y'all know that Dr. Nikita Cloud owned a dispensary? I didn't know that. She owns a dispensary in Homewood, y'all, and another one. I think it's in Linwood. That's what they're talking about.
you mentioned I am Dr. Nikita Nietzsche of BAM, Body and Mind Dispensary
Whoa,
in
what?
Linwood and in Markham, Illinois.
Out.
What?
I am.
My pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
So I
That's
got
like-
treated. So we'll
Oh, no,
talk
I'm-
offline.
Talk to you.
I ran for U.S. Senate in my first campaign commercial. I smoked weed in it in Illinois.
Really?
My first commercial. It went viral. Not obviously that
On
viral.
420.
Yeah, it was on 420. We dropped it and it made a splash.
For sure.
But I lost still. But anyway, it was a. It
That's
was
you
a
had a
good-
good run.
It was
So
a-
speaking
yeah.
of things that go viral, right? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously we were having you in to talk about your experience in Dolton and Thornton Township, where kind of like season 11's favorite story, Mayor
It
Tiff,
seems like it's-
is dominated.
we don't really cover stories over and over again, but with her, it just when it hit us, it was like there was so much material to cover. We couldn't give it just one show.
She's the gift that keeps on giving.
We've
doubt,
said
right?
that right here on the podcast.
It's unbelievable. Like it's weird. When I first became mayor, my father was mayor,
Mhm.
and then when I took over, my dad gave me really good advice. He told me to stay away from campaign money, just basic stuff like that to keep you out of trouble. But he put in me a not a fear, but just like, hey, let me know you always have bosses. When you're a mayor, you may think that you have no bosses, but you have bosses, and they're called FBI agents.
Yep.
And they watch you, and you
It's
have to
called
be
the
leery
federal
of these
government.
FBI agents because they will regulate you. And-
Exactly.
right? And
Quickly.
it seems to me that she has no fear at all of FBI agents. Like that's the thing to me that's just amazing. It's like she thinks that she's on her own. Like if the council supports me, that's all I got to worry about. And it's like she never got that talking to like I got,
What's unfortunate is that she thinks even when the council doesn't support her, she can do whatever she wants.
Right.
The council, the village trustees, the majority does not support what she does, and she still proceeds as she wants.
All right, so let me ask a little bit about that because I know that there's a lot of people in Indiana that listen to our show and they're used to how city and town governments in
Right.
Indiana are set up, right? Where you have a mayor and you have a city council.
Right.
So in Illinois, if I'm not mistaken, you have cities and then you have villages, right? There's no towns. So villages are set up with a mayor and then trustees, correct?
Yes.
Which is kind of like the city council.
For sure.
Okay. And so in Dalton, Dr. Nikita, how many trustees are there in Dalton? Oh, that was a quiz.
Six.
Sorry,
Six,
six. There's
is there?
six.
Six
with the-
And does the
trustees.
mayor get a vote on the with the trustees?
No,
No.
only she's a tiebreaker in
Okay.
some cases, but she hasn't had the opportunity to be a tiebreaker at
Okay.
this point.
And
So she's 6, and if it's 3-3, the mayor would come in and break the tie.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
yeah, so because I noticed on TV like she has a seat in the like kind of there with the council
Yeah,
when
she's
they're
in
the
the back
trustees.
like she's a god. I see
right.
her. Yes,
so let me
and
explain
she-
to us how you hooked up with Mayor Tiff and your position with her, and then why you left.
Yeah, so I served my time with Mayor Tiff when I was introduced to her. I didn't know her from a can of paint from the former chief of staff, and they wanted me to come in as public relations because that's where really my area of expertise is. So I came on as her publicist, but
Was this after she won already, or was
yeah, she had just became mayor maybe a month or two.
Okay, so it's 2021.
Yes, 2021. And then she had a controversy with the young lady, Alexis Wilson, who was shot and killed by Dolton police. And her statement that she put out by her her statement that she put out, she stated that she stood with the police. Keep in mind, this is coming off of the brink of the whole George Floyd thing. So they're protesting. Yeah, for sure. So definitely that's not anything you want to say. So she had people protesting her home, protesting the businesses.
That was right off the bat, huh?
Yeah, it was right after. It was bad.
That's when you got brought in.
Yeah,
PR.
so I got brought in for PR to try to fix the situation. However, the chief of staff actually immediately quit. So
warning signs. Hey, you want to be chief of staff? I'm out.
It was literally in her letter of resignation. She literally said, "I just think Nikita would be better fit for this because I had more
recommendation on the way out."
Look at you.
I mean, it was horrible.
Like
so
walking right into it.
like right. So she comes. So the mayor come and she talked to me. She said, "Well, listen, since you run the mayor's office and public relations is kind of included in that. Why don't you take the job as chief of staff?" So I thought about it and I said, okay, well, great. I'll go ahead and take the job as chief of staff because it still allows me to do all of the things that I do under public relations. So I did that. And one of the things I learned immediately is the mayor doesn't listen. Right. And one thing about a publicist, our job is to storytell and make you look good in a positive light. But if you're not listening to the advice, basically all I'm doing is essentially just taking your money. Right. So lying for you. Right. Like, she'll do stuff like gas giveaway, right? Which is a great noble thing.
That was a big thing for a couple years ago, right?
Yeah. But if you want me to embellish and tell the news that 1,500 cars pulled up, that's unreasonable. Gotcha. You know what I mean? Right. So I can't.
Gotta have credibility.
Exactly.
Gotta have facts.
Exactly. Right. So I'm trying to explain to her, like, well, Tiffany, think about it. All of this can be FOIA'd, Right. Let's start here. Right. And then, if we can't verify this information, you're not just putting your name. These are my media contacts. These are my relationships. Sure. I'm not going to put my name on the line for you. Well, long story short, she thought that as her chief of staff, this is literally what she said to me. My job is to take the L's for her. Like I'm supposed to go down. No, I saw Titanic. Sorry. Not going to do that. So,
So how long did you last?
I last about 6 months. I was like, you know what?
Is that longer than the first chief of staff?
Yeah. By 6 months.
Good job. By 6 months.
She lasts a week, so she hit the Guinness book. I'm like a close second.
So you were out after.
Quick question. I wonder, like, Dr. Nikita, no employees have to show and like I said, I don't have a dog in this fight. She didn't do an NDA, right? So she's able to just speak on what she wants to speak on. She never did an NDA. So she's just telling, like, shooting from the hip. Also, she's a publicist, and like I said in the previous video, I was so excited to see a woman publicist because they had the same publicist out in the South Suburb for everybody for years. So no shade to him. He's a cool dude. But I was just excited to see somebody young. Like every time I see somebody young a part of this situation, I get excited. That's what makes me so mad that things get so messy. And y'all, what do the Mayor Hammond? He is all over this. He's been covering this so hard. It is so funny. I didn't even realize this was the Mayor Hammond until I came across this podcast. Let's keep on going.
6 months.
Yeah, I was out after 6 months, but I witnessed a lot of she berates people, disrespect. So imagine the way she talks to her trustees during a board meeting.
Yeah, we've seen it.
I got it even worse, right?
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
A couple times. I'm gonna say that. I think that you probably picked up on my personality right now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say too much of that shit. So I'm sorry.
No, you are. It's a podcast.
Yeah, but no, I'm not gonna take that. So things got interesting really quick, and I walked away.
Yeah.
Like, no, I can't do it.
So Stephanie, I want to get into kind of like as much as Dr. Nikita's over at the village, your experience is at the township, right? And
correct.
so in Indiana,
she started as Mayor Tiffany started as mayor and then worked her way to the township, correct?
Well, she was appointed. We're going to get right. Why don't you explain? So wait, you're at the township, 17 municipalities in Thornton Township, biggest township in Illinois, right? You were there for 20 years.
Yep.
And then, and you were chief of staff there. Okay. And explain how Mayor Tiff becomes supervisor. And supervisor, by the way, for those that are listening in Indiana, is like the trustee of a township. And the trustees in Illinois are like the advisory board.
Gotcha. So the supervisor is the boss.
Supervisor is the boss.
Trustees are the board members.
Correct.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Right. Yep. So in January of 2022, the previous supervisor passed away. That left us in a situation where the township board had 60 days to appoint, or it went out to an open vote. So the township would have run an internal election where people who wanted to be nominated brought in residents. Those residents made votes. Whoever had the most votes would have taken that seat.
It's like a regular election.
Correct.
Okay.
We just run it internally.
Okay.
So the trustees go through the 60 days. We're on the very last day. It is 11:54 p.m.
There's a meeting at 11:54 p.m.
It was 11:54 p.m.
7 minutes. We had 7 minutes.
Yes. So
for the trustees to agree.
On a
Otherwise, it goes to an
supervisor.
election.
Correct.
Okay, got
So
it.
I believe in order to prevent that open election from taking place and from it going out of the control that the board felt like they had, they threw a name out and that name stuck.
Wow.
And it was Tiffany.
It was Tiffany.
Wow.
So you were the
unfortunately.
chief of staff working for the supervisor that passed away.
Correct.
And so now Tiffany comes in
Mhm.
and
she's going to clean house.
she just
right?
like right off the bat, was she just like, sorry, you're not going to make it?
So there was a moment where, being in a leadership role, you take on the responsibility of trying to make sure that your team is okay. We knew her in passing. She had the township supervisor was also the Democratic committeeman. So any election that was run in Thornton Township was at some point these candidates came through us. She was one of those back in 2012, I believe, right before she ran for trustee of Dolton. So we had interaction. We knew who she was. I was like, okay, you guys, this isn't going to be bad. She's still part of our team. Let's wait it out. Let's see what happens. That was a Thursday night she was appointed. Friday, I was off work. Just because I hadn't taken a break. My, boss had passed away.
Sure.
Just so happened to be my best friend. It was a tough time for all of us.
Who was the former supervisor? I'm sorry.
Frank Zuccarelli?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I met him a couple of times. He was a gentleman.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I'm
we
sorry about that.
thank you very
Yeah.
much. So I took the
Sorry, y'all, I was talking. I'm so sorry. So I have to pause this just to make sure I'm following the copyright guidelines to play this clip. But I wanted to talk a little about Stephanie. She seems like a nice lady, but truthfully, did she think she was going to have her job after the new supervisor came in? That's what any staff. When Brandon Johnson came in, he didn't keep Lori Lightfoot people. When Riley Rogers came in, he didn't keep Shaw people. Like, that's just what happens, you know what I mean? But I think to have a job for 20 years and to have someone that long running, that is deep. Now, who's the chief of staff over there at Thornton Township now? That's what I'm wondering. But usually the new administration come in and they bring in new people in their cabinet to make sure it's good. I'm so glad that Stephanie still has a job now. Let me just say that, because a lot of times you're just out of there without a job. And if you don't have a good backing from that person, like Zuccarelli's gone, right? She doesn't have a good letter of recommendation. So she was able to just transition from the Thornton Township over to the Park District as an executive. She didn't like go from chief of staff to like frying fish at Sharks. She ended up still coming through with a good job. But usually they change the what's going on in this chat. Wait a minute. What is going on in this chat? Y'all going off. Oh Lord. Y'all, that can't be the real mayor. That just can't be. Now, somebody said she went to Robert Morris College. I went to Robert Morris, y'all, and don't tell nobody. I still owe y'all. I got my little Pell Grant letter or whatever from the Department of Education the other day. I still owe them some money. I'm like, good Lord, education ain't do nothing for me. And then when I went to Robert Morris, when I went to Robert Morris and I went to the one downtown, y'all. We'll have a story for another day. But I went to Robert Morris, went to the one downtown, y'all, for business administration. And it was like you got your associates in business administration. And it was a fast track program. So instead of you going for 2 years, you went for a year and a half. Y'all check out my video. I'm gonna put it in the community tab when I was talking about all the universities that used to be in the state of Illinois, like Computer Learning Center, Westwood College, ICDC. What was the other one? DeVry. Where DeVry ITT Tech used to see that commercial every day. You don't even see it no more. I digress. East West University. I digress. And I don't even know, is Robert Moore still open? Y'all let me know. Let me get in this chat. Y'all cutting up. Y'all cutting up. Okay, so y'all say Keith Freeman. Oh my God. What? Y'all get, somebody get, where my mods at? Where's the mods at? Where's the mods at? Oh my God, Westwood College, they closed down. If you guys are from the Midwest, remember when Westwood College had Westwood College was in the mall, so it was in River Oaks Mall. I think like what? Just a mess. Okay, let's finish listening to let's get to going back. Y'all acting a mess up in here. Stop it right now. And hit that like button, y'all. Thank you for being here. Hit that like button. Okay, let's keep on going. Let me get back to Stephanie. Now, Stephanie's going to tell us about the breakdown of Springfield as well. Okay, let's go back.
Day off. I just kind of just needed to clear my mind. I go back to work Monday, and that was when I realized we were going to have issues. When I tell you that it felt like the most hostile takeover you could possibly imagine. I mean, the amount of security she brought in there, the police coming into people's offices, she brought in Andrew Holmes, who has nothing to do with Thornton Township. He is a village trustee. He's walking around with our salaries talking about, oh, well, yours is going to be gone and yours.
Out of here.
Yeah.
Now that is, why was Andrew Holmes walking around with people's salaries? That sucks.
I was there, so I can confirm.
That's
this.
so crazy.
Yeah.
How does she split time? Because she's a mayor also. So like, how does she split her time?
She
like
does
that?
not split time. Let me go on record and say that she's a supervisor, and she's a supervisor first. That happens to be the mayor.
Right.
So what she do is because the township comes with a lot of resources, and so what she do is she do everything under the township, and then she sprinkle it over to the mayor's seat. For example, yesterday board meeting. All she talked about was everything that she do at the township.
Right.
But a person who doesn't
like
understand will think that it's mayor, mayoral. So yeah, no, but to Stephanie's point, I was there that day. It was bad.
So, there's been so much news about the mayor, right? And it's like, it's viral, right? It's all over podcasts all over the country. There's national attention being paid to it, and definitely local, right? What was the first thing that she did that you guys said, oh, this is going to make the news, and it did? Like, what got the attention of the local news?
Stephanie wants to talk. I can tell. I'm a good body language reader.
It was definitely the walk to Springfield, the non-for-profit walk to Springfield, hands down.
Really?
When that took place, it was almost unbelievable because.
What was the purpose again? It was for Careers
Cares Foundation or whatever,
right? For not-for-profit.
For her non-for-profit, right? So their goal was to bike ride to Springfield to get a bill passed. They were supposed to sit in front of the revenue committee and get a bill passed for people to get a $10,000 write-off on their taxes.
Credit on your tax.
Right.
Yeah, credit on your taxes if you were suffering from cancer.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, which sounds like a great cause
sure.
until I see the $10,000 donation from Thornton Township. And then I see the credit card statements that have every hotel, every restaurant, every single place they stopped, the gas card was used, the vehicles.
So it wasn't paid for by the foundation.
No, it was all paid for by Thornton Township.
Did they walk the whole
Springfield
way?
wasn't open.
And they were inside.
These are the most important parts.
Wait, what?
Shit.
What?
Nobody called?
Hold on. Springfield wasn't open.
Y'all, they spent 11 days walking to Springfield, and Springfield wasn't open. Oh, I'm done.
The legislature wasn't even in session.
No, they had to come back.
We'll be back in January.
Time to walk back.
And it was funny. I'm not going to call names, but it was legislators like, okay, so what she's doing? Let's see. Don't want her. Let's see how this plays out. You know,
Like, I'm up here. I don't know where she's going.
That's what they did. They came back
Wow.
here and pitched it to the Revenue Committee in
In
Chicago.
yeah. Wow.
It's a lot easier to watch the
Unbelievable.
Chicago from Dalton than it is to watch the Springfield.
And you would have saved me a ton of tax money.
Let me ask you, does she have so when those things are paid by the Thornton Township, meaning like the credit card bills, the hotels, the t-shirts and sweatshirts, how is that? What's the process? Does that go through the board? Does she have full control over those expenditures?
No, because those came out of general fund. So in the township, the way it works is we have, 3 separate funds. Road and Bridge, which is controlled by the highway commissioner. That is an elected position that is not voting a position. And then we have general fund, which is run by the supervisor and the board. She needs board approval to spend
So like
any
claims
money.
have to go through the
Yes.
board and they get approved. Okay.
And then general assistance is our GA fund. That's where she has complete control. She does not need board approval to spend
So
any
she
of that
could
money.
pull. She could theoretically, if she could pull it out of there to pay for a t-shirt, whether that's right or wrong. I'm not saying it's right,
She could.
but she could.
She could.
Where
That's
did these
crazy.
claims go through?
They went through general fund. The board did approve them, but they were all credit card.
So
forms
like
by
the money's put into general fund and she could do whatever she wants after it's put there by the board, right?
in general assistance.
But the general fund is what paid it,
The general fund,
including
is
the
what paid
t-shirts
it.
and hoodies.
Absolutely, all $17,000 of them.
For a
So if
private
I'm her, I'm going to
organization.
say like, I just submitted them. What she's saying is she has nothing to do with the.
she's the face.
Yeah, she's the face of the charity, right? Yeah.
With
She
her
did say
name,
that.
her namesake charity.
She said it.
her namesake
said it.
charity.
She's
Yeah,
the face and name.
That's scary, man.
The one that she took the photo shoot for, matching outfits to the
I saw
website,
that.
pointing like,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, right.
the face.
Yeah, you know what's funny is before this all broke out, I would see her picture on the highway, and I'd be like, wow, that's
Oh, you
but
saw
I would
her.
never see like the phone number or anything.
You're like, man, I should get one of those.
Well, look
Right.
at these that she's trying to hang around. So last night during the board meeting,
Y'all, did y'all see that Roland Martin interview when he was like, "What is this?" So me and my friends, every time we call each other or do something, we be like, "Okay, we see you here, or you're out there, or we see someone on Instagram, or like, if we're tracking each other and you're not supposed to be at your boo house, but you're there, we'd be like, what is this?" I don't know why. I gotta play that. It's so funny. Let me know if you saw that.
she wanted the board to approve $19,000 to put, how you have the banners up on each light
Oh
pole.
yeah, and the light post. Wow. Did they approve it?
No.
So
Well, look
every
at
every banner is her.
No way.
Tom, you got to get
That's-
those.
like,
we
I
got to
gotta
start
take
doing
lessons.
those.
I
Why are we
gotta take
doing that in
lessons. I've been there
Hammond?
20 years. This shit was teaching me things that I should be doing there. This is crazy. I feel like a bad mayor now.
So
Like I never even thought of that. Like these light poles, I could have pictures of me everywhere. Welcome to McDermottville.
yeah. Welcome to Dalton. These are something.
So wait. Even in the light of all this coverage,
She's still going.
just last night, she's doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
Oh, and
So-
WGN and ABC were both there
Oh
filming it.
wow.
We'll look forward to those.
That's a crazy thing. Is like, I mean, she is
doesn't
not
care.
afraid.
No.
Not only she's not afraid, she threw shots at him the entire board meeting. Yeah, and
She's not
cover this,
backing down.
Yeah,
cover there. They're like, okay.
thank you. Like you said, the gift that keeps on
Yeah, I'm
giving.
telling you,
We
like-
love you, Steph. We love you, Tim.
And then I'm a publicist, so I'd be like, "Hey, you watching this, Ben?" You know,
They're just keep challenging.
You
her.
know, one of the things I have as mayor is I have a lawyer that is very in my ear. Kevin and I are real good friends, obviously, but not just that. Kevin's my lawyer. Like,
yeah.
his job is to keep me out of trouble,
Mhm.
right? And
Not
we
always
talk.
Which is a
but-
Great
difficult
job.
job.
Not
It
always
is a
easy.
difficult job. I agree. But like Kevin is constantly talking to me. Hey, you should think about this when you say this. Doesn't she have a good lawyer like that that's watching out for Tiffany? I mean,
Or
it's
does
like,
she just
'cause
not take direction?
somebody that cares about her that's
okay.
like, hey, I don't want to see you in federal prison.
So let me
Mayor.
say this. So from my experience as the chief of staff, so she had Ansel and Gleek, which was the original, which is technically the law firm for the village of Dolton, but they resigned. In the letter, they stated she just doesn't listen. We can't listen.
They resigned as a firm.
Yeah, they resigned as the firm. So Delgado, who was like the special counsel, he's been kind of, like her BFF or whatever. But before Delgado, in his firm, he had James Vaselli, which, I worked a lot with James Vaselli. I did not know Delgado like that. James Vaselli we'll be in a room and, something to come up and I'll look at him, he'll look at me and he'd be like, make sure she get this done. Right. And I'm like, okay.
So
but
they're trying.
He tried. I will say that. Delgado, James Vaselli tried to get her to do the right thing.
Well, it's always important, I think, as an attorney, to do your best. At the end of the day, and I've said this to Tom. I said, hey, I'm just giving you advice. It's you make the decision. And Tom's got a good gut, so a lot of times he makes the right decision. But you kind of have to rely on your clients to do the right thing and make the right decision. All you can do is advise and give them advice. So I want to ask real quick.
I think Stephanie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I was just going to say that
You got a better.
That's where I believe Delgado is with it. He, first of all, there was a reason he wasn't out here the way he was with the prior administration.
Right.
There definitely are some things that, personally, if I were hiring a lawyer, would be qualities that I would not want in my attorney.
Right.
But I do think that what you said is on point, that the firm gives the advice that legally they should give.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, on the flip side of that, when she needs defense because she does what she wants, he's there to collect the checks.
Oh yeah.
True story, by the way.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
And like one of the things I learned, there's cases called 1983 cases, and I don't want to get too deep into the woods, okay? But they're civil rights violation cases, and they're nasty lawsuits, okay? Like when you do things that violates people's Bill of Rights, like you impede their freedom of speech, you fire them for political reasons. They filed one of these lawsuits filed against the village of Dolton is a nasty lawsuit, but it seems to me like she's exposed the village of Dolton to multiple of these types of lawsuits and
unnecessary lawsuits.
Absolutely,
yeah.
They're
like
so nasty.
Requests.
One of them is nasty, and if you have dozens, like Dolton could be fighting these cases for the next 10 years.
I agree.
Yeah, like you said, they've stopped. I heard that they, at least on the news, said that they've stopped responding to FOIA requests.
I can tell you with authority, we were instructed to not fill FOIA requests.
That's crazy. That's
And,
basic
and it was-
democracy.
And they would tell us to not fill FOIA requests.
That's crazy that to not fill the FOIA request, but I do think that they never had this many FOIA requests ever in life. Okay, so that poor clerk got a job ahead of her. But yeah, check out that podcast, Left of the Center podcast. It was really quite interesting. It was just a short podcast, and they had something like that. Let's go. They had some Stephanie and Dr. Nikita. Let's go over to Roland Martin, which will be our new soundbite over here. Anytime y'all do something wrong, I'm gonna definitely say, what is this? Let's see.
Of you marching with the charity. So what is this?
So what they're not telling you is we literally walked to Springfield to create a bill.
Yeah, that is our new soundbite. I'm gonna save it today. What is this?
Of you marching with the charity. So what is this?
So what they're not telling you is we
That's gonna be
literally
me all
walked
day
to
long.
Springfield to create.
That's gonna be me all day long. So okay, y'all, that was our video for tonight. We're gonna do one in the morning, one in the evening. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And yes, what I'll be doing is I'll be giving you some of the history of Dolton. Like we talked about the old mayors, we talked about the people that ran for mayor. We talking about, y'all, the next video. What's up with the public library? We don't hear nothing about that. I'm going to talk about that. Who's in charge of the Dolton Public Library? Who's on the board? Where does the library in Dolton stand? Let's talk about it. And we also going to talk about some nostalgia. We're going to go back in the past, back in when Dolton had a show, back when things were different. We'll also be following up on the case with Andrew Holmes allegedly. And if you want to see this video, we went on about 3.5 hours click that join button. It supports the channel. I really appreciate you guys. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. But I ain't judging.
I got some clothes. I got some jewelry. The rest I got tied up in investments. I ain't got nothing else.
And that's about it. Make sure you take care of yourself and each other. Hit that like button on the way out. I appreciate y'all so much. As always, make sure you take care of yourself and each other. Bye.
Commentary blue. Commentary. Burgundy. Commentary. Comment blue. Commentary. Comment Burgundy blue. Commentary blue. Commentary. Burgundy. Commentary. Commentary.